Welcome to Story Time with Miss Mélange. I'm so thrilled that you can join us today. Go ahead and grab a comfy seat and let's get started. The title of our book today is Tap Tap, written by Lynn Williams. Enjoy. It was early on market day when Sasifi and her mama started down the path to the main road. The sky was still gray. Mama carried a big basket of oranges on her head. Sasifi carried a smaller one. "Will we ride in a tap-tap today?" Sasifi asked. "No," said Mama. "We will walk to the market, the same as always." The sky turned rose and then blue. Sasifi's basket grew heavy. She had been to the market with Mama before, but today was the first time she carried her own basket on her head, by the way. Now that Sasifi was 8, Mama said she was big enough to help on market day. Finally, they reached the big road. Many people were walking. Some rode on slow, tired horses. Others led donkeys and heavy loads of sugarcane and bananas. Sasifi wished she could ride a donkey or a horse, or better still, speed along in a tap-tap. Have you ever carried a load on your head? It must take lots of balance. "Look, Mama!" Sasifi stopped and watched a brightly painted tap-tap rumble toward them. "Come, Sasifi," Mama called. "Oh, we will be too late to sell our oranges." A woman on the side of the road waved, and the tap-tap stopped. The woman lifted up her basket. A man helped her climb on. "If we take a tap-tap," Sasifi said, "we will get there in plenty of time." Already the new sun was hot. Sasifi's feet was tired. Her neck ached. "We don't have money for the tap-tap," Mama said. "Perhaps you are not yet big enough to help me on market day." Sasifi stretched her body taller and took big steps to keep up with Mama. Of course she was big enough to help. As they reached the marketplace, crowds of people were gathering. Women with baskets and men with lumber, pigs and goats. Beep, beep. A big red and yellow blue tap-tap pulled up and a lot of people got off. Sasifi wished she were one of them. Inside the market, Sasifi saw women selling brooms and men selling little chairs. A man had a stack of straw hats for sale. "Look at the pretty hat," Sasifi called to Mama. But Mama didn't stop. Sasifi had to push her way through the crowd to catch up. Everywhere the market women chattering noisily like Madame Sarah birds in their nests. Mama found a space among the other fruit and vegetable ladies, and Sasifi helped count their oranges out in piles of 5. She dusted each one with a handkerchief to make it clean and shiny. Mama showed her how to match the bigger ones with the smaller ones so the piles would be even. All morning, Sasifi watched Mama calling to the shoppers and making change. When the sun was overhead, Sasifi curled up on their mat and slept. How do you think Sasifi felt? I'm sure she was exhausted. Seemed like she was working hard that day. Later, Mama went to do her marketing. She left Sasifi behind to sell the rest of the oranges. "If you sell any oranges, be careful making change," Mama warned, "and tie your money tightly in your handkerchief." She disappeared into the jostling, noisy crowd. "Here," Sasifi called to the shoppers as she had seen Mama do. "See my beautiful oranges. They are bigger and sweeter than the others, and I can give you a good price." Mama was surprised when she returned. "Have you eaten all of my oranges?" she asked Sasifi. "No, Mama, I've sold them all." Proudly, Sasifi unwrapped the handkerchief she had tied around her waist and gave Mama the coins. How do you think Sasifi felt then? Yes, very proud, happy, excited. I'm sure Mama felt those feelings too. Mama counted the money and smiled. "You have done a good job," she told Sasifi. "I have a surprise for you." She reached into her market basket and pulled out a pretty woven hat with a wide brim and a red band. "This will keep the sun out of your eyes on your journey home." "Mama, it's beautiful," Sasifi exclaimed. "Thank you, thank you." Sasifi had never had a fine new hat before. She placed it on her head, tilted it this way and that until it felt just right. "Now," Mama said, handing Sasifi some coins, "buy yourself a treat before we go, quickly." Sasifi could hardly believe her good luck. It was the first time she had money of her own to spend at the market, and she knew just what she would do. What do you think Sasifi is going to do with her money? Good answer. "Come, Mama," Sasifi said. She passed the market stalls where men were selling fresh bread. She passed the ladies selling sweet peanut candy and bonbons in bright paper wrappers. When she got to the man selling juice in plastic bottles, she stopped for a moment and looked at the bright colors: red, green, orange, purple. She knew the juice was sweet and icy cold, and for a moment she couldn't decide. "Hurry," Mama said behind her. "We must go." Sasifi squeezed the coins tightly in her hand and made up her mind. "Yes," Sasifi told Mama, "and we will ride the tap-tap." "Ah," Mama said, "a tap-tap. I should have known. We will both get rest for our tired feet." "Thank you, Sherry." And Sherry actually means sweetheart in Creole, Haitian Creole, that is. I must not forget the illustration. Sasifi ran ahead of her mother to the place where the tap-tap stopped. One big tap-tap piled high with people and baskets and huge bags of charcoal began to pull away. "Wait," Sasifi called, but the tap-tap did not stop. "Here," a man waved to Sasifi and her mother. "I have a place for you." The man's tap-tap was freshly painted with green and blue and orange designs on the side. And in front there was beautiful flowers and birds. Across the top, Sasifi read the word hope. "Do you go to Déchappé?" she asked the driver. "Yes, Sherry." "Come, Mama," Sasifi called. She climbed into the truck and chose the last seat so she could see out the back. The man helped Mama with the baskets. She ran on the bench next to Sasifi. "We are ready," Sasifi called to the man. "We can go." "Not so fast, Sherry," the man said. "Just two people cannot pay for the ride," Mama explained. "We must wait for others." What a lesson Sasifi's learning here. What are you learning from this story? Soon a man came with 4 small new chairs. The driver helped him tie the chairs on top of the tap-tap. The man climbed in the back. A woman came with a crying goat. The goat did not want to get on the tap-tap. The driver had to pick it up, holding its legs so it wouldn't kick. "Will we go now?" Sasifi asked. "Not yet," Mama told her. Another woman came with a basket on her head and a chicken under each arm. Mama took her chickens as she climbed on board. Next came a man with a huge round basket full of bread. He passed the basket into the truck. The smell of fresh bread reminded Sasifi that she was hungry. The hat man came with dozens of hats piled on his head. Kind of reminds me of another story. Hats for sale, 50 cents a cap. Back to this one. He smiled at Sasifi. Sasifi reached up and touched her beautiful hat. She wiggled with excitement. Surely we will go now, she thought. The driver banged the side of his truck 2 times. This car for Des Chapelles, he called to the people leaving the market. A tired woman came with a baby in her arms and a little boy clinging to her dress. They all climbed in. Mama squeezed closer to Sasifi. Sasifi was squished against the end of the tap-tap. A hard chain pressed into her side. She tried not to think about the cold juice and sweet bonbons she had left behind in the market. The tap-tap is full, she told Mama. Won't we leave soon? Soon, Mama said. Wow, such a lesson in patience. A man came carrying a table on his head, and on the table were piled bowls and jars of good things to eat. The people in the tap-tap passed the table back. The man climbed on. A boy with a bundle of sugar cane climbed on. He tossed the sugar cane on top of the tap-tap. There were no seats left, so he stood up in front of Sasifi. The driver banged the side of the truck. Good, he said. We will go. Wait, wait, monsieur, wait. And monsieur means sir in French or Haitian Creole. One more woman was coming toward the tap-tap. She was a very big woman. She could not run fast and she was huffing and puffing. The woman carried 2 big baskets of yellow bananas, 2 big pineapples, and a watermelon. There is no place for her, Sasifi thought. Just as the man next to Mama squeezed her closer to Sasifi and the boy across from her took the 2 big pineapples, someone pushed the big woman up on the tap-tap. I guess there was room for one more. Finally, the truck began to move. Bump, bump. Sasifi held onto her hat as the tap-tap began to go faster and faster. Bump, bump, squeak. They sped past mud huts with green and pink doors and shutters and pretty houses with gingerbread trim. They passed tired donkeys with heavy loads and little children who stopped to watch and wave. Sasifi waved back, proud to be riding in a tap-tap. Tap, tap, the man with the hat banged on the side of the truck. The truck stopped and the man got off. Everyone spread out a bit and the tap-tap started up again. Sasifi liked the feel of the wind in her face. She held on tight to her beautiful new hat and laughed at the goats jumping over one another at the side of the road. Tap, tap, the woman with the chickens hit the side of the truck. The tap-tap stopped and the woman climbed down. She took her chickens and the tap-tap began to move again. 2 boys began chasing after them. Faster and faster went the tap-tap. Faster and faster went the boys. They tried to jump on the back. No, no, cried the man next to Mama. Finally, the boys gave up and stopped, panting in the middle of the road. Everyone in a tap-tap laughed. Tap, tap, the man with the chairs hit the side of the tap-tap and it stopped again. The man climbed down and everyone spread out. He took his chairs off the top of the tap-tap and they took off again. Are you sensing a pattern here? Yes, every time a passenger taps the tap tap, that's when the driver knows to stop. Very good. Beep beep, the tap tap horn blew loudly. Chicken scattered and a big old pig squealed. The tap tap sped past green rice fields and leafy banana trees. Sasifi held on tight with both hands. Suddenly, she felt her hat lift right off her head. In a swoosh, it was gone. Sasifi saw her beautiful new hat fly off behind the tap tap. My hat! Stop! My new hat, she called, but her voice was lost in the wind. Oh, how do you think Sasifi felt? Yes, disappointed, sad. I agree. Stop, she cried again as her beautiful hat with the red band rolled in the dust behind them. The tap-tap did not stop. Mama, she cried. Mama was talking to the lady with the baby. She didn't even pay attention to Sasifi. Sasifi's hat was a speck on the road. Help, she called. The tap-tap squeaked and rattled. The driver couldn't hear. Sasifi tugged on her mama's arm. Then she knew what to do. Tap, tap. Sasifi banged as hard as she could on the side of their pretty painted truck. She felt the tap-tap slow down and stop. My hat, she called. She pointed, and several small children at the side of the road raced to save her hat. Merci, she called to them, which means thank you in French or Haitian Creole. When her hat was safely on her head and the tap-tap started again. How do you think she felt here? Yes, I agree. Beep, beep, the driver waved as they passed another tap-tap coming toward them. Sasifi squeezed her eyes shut to keep out the dust, but she didn't let go of her new hat. Tap, tap, this time it was Mama asking the driver to stop. Sasifi and Mama climbed down and took their baskets. Sasifi straightened her new hat and gave the driver her coins. The colorful tap-tap began to shake and rattle down the road. Au revoir, Sasi called, waving her hat. And au revoir means bye-bye. Sasifi danced ahead of Mama. Oops, let's not forget the illustration. Sasifi danced ahead of Mama down the path to their village. Mama laughed. So you are not too worried after a busy market day, she asked. Oh no, Mama. Sasifi held onto her new hat and twirled around. Not after riding the tap-tap. And that is the end of tap-tap. My question to you is, what is your favorite part of the story? Go ahead and share that with someone. If you enjoyed this story and our channel, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And make sure to support this author by purchasing this book. I will leave a link in the description below. You can also support me by checking out my Patreon account, where you have access to all my videos without the commercials, first name shout outs towards the end of the videos, and more. So definitely check me out. I'm also on Instagram at Storytime Mélange and on Facebook at Diverse Children's Books. Thanks for watching. Bye.